to hang my name along the other graduates of the School of Environmental Studies, which was an innovative effort that made Minnesota schools stand out nationally and on the map. I want to see the calm, guiding presence back on the school board. Something that we've seen is a lot of turmoil in the past, and I think I can provide a calm, calculating, and thoughtful presence to the school board. But more importantly, I'm not just lending my expertise, and I'm not just lending a presence of calmness. I'm lending my ears. We need to listen more to the voters and the parents and the teachers in this district. And that will create a new trajectory that will create a phenomenal school district for everybody going into the future here in Winona. Thank you.
Candidate Sonneman.
Thank you. I am Carl Sonneman. I want to thank the League for sponsoring this forum, and I want to welcome those of you who are here and those watching or listening in our session. We must look to the future. Our concerns will be what happens in Winona schools 5 years and 12 years and 18 years from now. This is the educational timeline for children born today. What do we need from Winona's schools? First, we need change. We need a new school board. We need trust. We need the school district to trust the Winona community. We need transparency. We need a school district that communicates without restrictions, that shares its plans for the future, and that admits its mistakes. And we need accountability. Administrative accountability, educational accountability, and above all, financial accountability. Financial accountability requires a functioning budget process. It requires a process that regularly monitors actual results against the budget and that knows when it's running a deficit and immediately takes steps to restore financial integrity. I've looked at the budgets and the actual reports of operations, and none of this can be found. We need strong elementary schools. This is because the students there will soon be the students in our high school. We cannot expect good results from the high school if we do not give these students the proper foundation when they are in elementary school and maintain this as they progress through middle school. We need to be talking about what will strengthen elementary education in Winona. I'm running for an at-large seat on the Winona School Board. You may vote for two candidates for these at-large seats. I ask your support in the upcoming primary election and again in the general election. Thank you.
Candidate Hazelton.
Good evening, everybody, and I too would like to thank the League of Women Voters and all the different sponsors that were listed. I also want to thank the public for tuning in on TV and the members of the audience and the press for covering this. My name is Ted Hazelton. I was born in Minnesota City and I moved to Winona in 2002. I've been a lifelong resident of the area WAPS public schools. I have two children that are currently enrolled in 861 schools. I have a daughter who's going to be a second grader at WK, and I have a son who is going to be a senior at Winona Senior High School. As many of you may know, I'm a former school board member. I was elected in 2006 and served 2007 through 2010. The reason I am running is what's been echoed by some of the other candidates. I would like to restore some trust, accountability, and transparency back into our school district. I also want to tackle the financial issues. It's pretty sad that when I left the school board in 2010, we were running a budget surplus and had a 20% reserve on hand and ran in the black, and we were recipients of a state finance award 5 years running. Now we have 6 out of the past 8 years we're running at a deficit and more deficits to come. I want to restore accountability and trust, and I speak for the common working class citizens of Winona. I would appreciate your support, and I feel it's time for a change, and it's not too late to right the ship of education in Winona. Thank you.
Candidate Shield.
As everybody else has said, I thank the league and the sponsors for this opportunity to speak. I'm Steve Schild, and I'm running for re-election to the First District School Board seat. I ask for your vote, your support, because I want to be part of continuing the important work that this board is doing to make education better for student and taxpayer alike. I'm especially interested in and committed to 3 current board initiatives, all of which are evidence of significant progress that we made on important issues. First, building consolidation. Our decision to right-size the district's fleet of buildings is paying off already. When school starts this fall, every elementary student will be in a building that has increased academic and counseling support for students and its own full-time social worker. Consolidating buildings will let us put the emphasis back where it belongs, on education rather than buildings. Second, we have a strategic planning process that is very student-focused. It began with input from a wide swath of people in the community and continues with participation and input from teachers and administrators who work directly with students. It'll be a great blueprint for improving education day to day. Third, the current board, based on input from citizens on a facilities task force and budget reduction committee, is planning a $9.4 million referendum that will emphasize things that citizens singled out that they wanted. Safety in schools, accessibility for students with special needs especially, and taking care of some of our most pressing maintenance needs. The referendum, if passed, will let us address critical needs now and continue a conversation about how to best meet our facilities' needs long-term. I ask for your vote because I want to continue to be part of those efforts, all of which will improve educational opportunities for students and give greater value to taxpayers. Thanks.
Thank you, candidates, for your opening statements. We're now ready for our first question. And the question is, what are the top 3 priorities facing the Winona Area School District in 2018? And the candidate that will respond first is candidate Shield.
The top 3 are, in my estimation, educational achievement, additional help for social services and counseling, that sort of thing for kids who have those needs, and we all know there's a growing need for those sorts of things, sadly. And the third thing is the community does need to have does have to continue and finish the conversation about facilities. One of the things that I like about the referendum plan is that it's going to address some of our most pressing needs, but it will also allow more time for ongoing conversation among constituencies within the community and let us have a larger talk about long-term needs for the school district.
Candidate Schul.
First of all, I want to focus on why we need more social services, like what Mr. Shields said. There's a rise of concentrated poverty here in the United States, and our children need more help. They need more help in their socially. They need more help emotionally. So that's a challenge, and so we need to provide that help for those children. The financial situation needs to be addressed, and we need to be vigilant about that. And then, and 3, I would like our teachers to cease being treated as street-level bureaucrats across the United States. I would like to uplift them, empower them. I'd like to be able to pay them more. I'd like to be able to make sure that they are in charge of who hires their colleagues and that they are in charge of the macro curriculum of the school system.
Candidate Denzer.
Educational excellence is really important to me. I believe that all of our staff should be, highly trained and motivated staff members in each building. The consolidation that has just recently been achieved is going to offer opportunities for our educators to really move forward in that result. Security and safety is a really important issue in the district, and I think moving forward we need to make sure that our buildings are all secure, safe, and that families feel good about sending their students to school. And lastly, I think we need to really focus on getting the referendum passed so that we can move forward with those initiatives.
Candidate Hazelton.
My 3 top things in my view: 1, We need to get a hold on the financial situation. We are in dire straits. We need to dig ourselves out of this hole. And that comes with promoting our school district and attaining the best teachers and staff members available. I also believe another topic is school security and safety. And lastly, we need to work on improving our test scores. They've been on a steadily declining rate from middle school and high school ages on up. We need to give resources, financial resources, to help pay for this kind of stuff. And I will, if elected, I will do my darndest to make the best that I can for our students.
Candidate Larkey.
I think first and foremost, anything we do as a district should be centered around our kids and the education that they receive. We need to make sure that now that we've consolidated schools, that our classrooms do not become too overcrowded. Secondly, safety and security is a big thing. It's every parent's nightmare, but it's something that we cannot put on the back burner, and it needs to be addressed right away. We need to be proactive in that. And then also listening. Listening to the community, to parents, to students, and our teachers. Listening to what they need. My dad taught me at a young age that the good Lord gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth, and to use them accordingly. And that's what I plan to do when I listen to all the community.
Candidate Sims.
The top 3 priorities starting in 2018, we need to make sure that we're focused on completing and implementing a strategic plan